Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. If it applies, good evening. I'm Candy from APAC Med, and it is our delight to welcome you to our webinar today, Commercializing Digital Health, South Korean Case Studies. So we will give just a couple more minutes for the rest of our attendees to stream in. So sit tight and we'll be starting very, very soon. All right. Hi, everyone. We're going to get started now. So just a few housekeeping things before we get going. All of you are muted, but you can send all your questions through the Q&A box. This will be tackled later on in the panel discussion. The webinar is also being recorded, and the link will be shared with all of you after the event. Okay, so right. Now, a quick plug before I introduce our esteemed moderator. We are from APAC Med. My name is Candy, and APAC Med is the regional medtech trade association for Asia Pacific. So to date, we comprise close to 300 member companies representing manufacturers and suppliers of medical devices, IVDs, digital health providers, and other ecosystem stakeholders, such as local trade associations, to bring a unifying voice to the industry here. So I'm very, very happy to see so many of you with us today, and we look forward to getting to know more about very interesting case studies from South Korea. And with this, I hand over now to our moderator, Dr. Shin from Yonsei University. Dr. Shin, I will be moving to the next slide, so you can let me know when you want to change.
All right. Thank you very much. So good morning, everyone. So thank you for joining the great webinar today. So before we start, I appreciate to the APEC Med and Mr. Sang-suri to organize all the things very smoothly and greenly. So today we are discussing how we can commercialize digital health based on our experience in South Korea. So today we have two speakers. So Mr. Ryan Kim is a head of sales and marketing division at Atsens. So before he joined the Atsens, he was a VP at InView Technology in the UK, and also he was a software engineer at LG a long time ago. So a company he is working for is Atsens, and Atsens is one of the fastest growing company, and they are focusing on electrocardiogram device as well as its AI algorithm. So Ryan will let us know. Oh, I have to turn on my camera, sorry. So yeah, so he will let us know their product and how they are making a commercialization plan. So please welcome Mr. Kim and with a big applause. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shin.
Ryan, would you please proceed your presentation?
Actually, Candy will show it. Okay. So good morning, everyone. I really appreciate to have this chance to introduce our company, Atsens, and our product, ATPatch, to you all. So next slide. I will tell you about our company and why market needs our product, and then I will show you our AT Heart solution more detail. If I have more time, then I can show you our product pipeline as well as how we did for global marketing. So first one is a company overview. Our company name is Atsens, and our vision is #1 healthcare company with a new frontier spirit. And we were established at the 2017 September timeframe, so it was already 4 years and 8 months since we established it. We are located in the South Korea and the Bundang area, which is 30-minute distance from Seoul by car. So currently our main product is ACM, ambulatory cardiac monitor, and also we have a different kind of project, and they will be released to the market one by one and step by step. Currently, we are all 55, and among them, we have 27 R&D engineers. And we got the Innovation Award from CES last year. And we have several kind of certification or regulation to sell our product to each market. And we have a Korean certification first, KFDA, and then we got the CE/FDD for European market. And also we have a relevant certification or regulation for factory and manufacturing. And we are on the process for FDA in US, PMDA in Japan, and ANVISA in Brazil. We have our own factory, so we can control our quality and capacity. You can find more information from our website. Next, please. Our CEO, Peter Jung, was in the top-tier mobile phone manufacturer before, including Hyundai, SK, and Pentec. After that, he moved to Earflow, which is a listed company in Korea, and their main product is continuous glucose monitor together with automatic insulin injection. Our medical officer, Dr. Lee, was once chairman of Korean Heart Rhythm Society, and also he was professor of Catholic University Hospital. As Dr. Shin said that I was a software engineer before, and I moved to marketing, and I was once the CEO of my own company and then moved to UK company. And also we have a very high level members not only in technology side, but also in medical side, as you can see from presentation. Next, please. We have many kind of certification or regulation, including GMP, good manufacturing practice, and license for medical device, together with national certification for Korea and European market. Next, please. I should tell you about our high-level technology side. So I prepared 2 pages to compare our patents to current #1 company. Current #1 company is iRhythm Technology in US, and they released their ECG patch in 2011, so already 11 years ago. And during 12 years, they have 34 patents, whereas only during 4 years, we have 35 patents. Among them, 23 are already registered. Next, please. We assessed and investigated the patents of iRhythms and ours, and we found iRhythms patents are focusing on the device structure mostly, but we have several different kinds of patents like AI algorithm, UI, functions, and structure as well. And iRhythm has 13 unique patents, but we have 32 unique patents. So we are proudly saying that we have a very high-level technology already. Next, please. Now, why market needs this kind of a product? I will tell you. Next, please. So, you know, the #1 or 2 cause of death are cancer and heart disease. But among them, you know, heart is heart of the body. And the heart is originated from the one part of the body. So we think the heart disease is #1, absolutely #1 cause of death. And the people is getting old, then the part of the body might be some issues. So getting old, many people or most of the people may have heart disease more and more. There are many devices before to check the heart disease, but due to some inconvenience, only Holter is mostly used, and then they are the 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days Holter, but the 1 day Holter is mostly used, and with this 1 day Holter, only 28% of arrhythmias can be detected. That's why market needs this kind of long-term monitoring device. So from the study in US at 2013, if we can check the ECG signal up to 14 days, then the 100% of arrhythmias can be detected. That's why iRhythm released their product, and also we released our product to the market. Next, please. So there are some problems for using traditional Holter. They have a low detection rate of arrhythmias. And this is a reusable equipment. So the hospital point of view, they needed to invest big money at beginning stage. If they buy 5 to 10 devices with relevant software and PC, then it'll cost around $70,000 at initial stage. And also, because this device is reusable, only 1 patient prescription was possible per day. And also it has wire and 5 to 7 electrodes, and also leads and device. So it is not so convenient, and also shower is not possible. That's why 1 day Holter is mostly used. Whereas we resolved those problems of Holter. So up to 14-day monitoring, we can detect almost 100% of arrhythmias. And also it is a disposable one. So the hospital doesn't need to invest big money at the beginning stage. They just need to buy what they want, when they want. So many patients, if there is a 100 patients per day, no problem to prescribe our patch to the patient. Also, it is very small, light, and shower-proof. So the patient point of view, it is very convenient. And sometimes the patient may forget what they are wearing. For medical professional point of view, it is disposable one. So they don't need to maintain. They don't need to sanitize. They don't need to care about our patch. Just after use, they get the data from the patch and then analyze, that's all. Next, please. So I will introduce our AT Heart solution to you shortly. I think it is better to show you our product video first so that you can understand our product. Please play the video.
Hang on, I'm getting the audio connected as well. Give me a second.
Okay, no problem. You know, most of a new kind of medical device needs a reimbursement from the national health system. Are you ready, Candy? Okay.
Anytime, anywhere, heart beats regularly. But people with a heart condition may have irregular heart rhythm. A big problem is that you may miss the abnormalities. Especially, intermittent abnormal heartbeats make doctors' diagnosis difficult. That's why you need a long-term continuous electrocardiography. Up to 14 days uninterrupted cardiac monitor. AT Patch promises an uninterrupted cardiac monitoring for 14 days. New paradigm of ECG tests. AT Patch is specialized for 14 days use. Up to 14 days uninterrupted monitoring. This patch type monitor has noise filtering features that provides clear electrocardiogram. AT Patch records P waves required for AF diagnosis. On your smartphone, you can also check real-time ECG and note symptoms. After 14 days monitoring, health professionals use AT Report to analyze the electrocardiogram. Unique two-step classification by AT-Sense proprietary algorithms makes faster data analysis possible. The final analysis report also helps doctors for quick review and accurate interpretation. More suitable way of finding heart problems. 14 days promise. AT Patch. This is a medical device that requires a doctor's prescription.
Okay, good. Next, please.
Anytime.
So our AT Heart solution consists of a three-part. AT Patch is patch type cardiac monitor up to 14-day continuous monitoring. It is very small, very light, and shower-proof. AT Note is application on the smartphone, both for Android and iPhone. And our original target of this app was to show live ECG signal to the patient or doctor. Also, the patient can record their symptoms, or they can record their ECG signal up to 5 minutes. So that even during the wearing time, they can bring that video or that record to the doctor if there is something wrong. Actually, we have already real cases about that. AT Report is analysis software for ECG with our own proprietary AI algorithm. And even though our monitor can check the ECG signal up to 14 days, but the analysis time and modify and review time will be not so long compared to traditional Holter like 1 day or 2 days. And also our AT report can generate the final report so that doctor can see the report. And just with 1 or 2 pages, the doctor can see that the patient has what kind of heart disease and how he can prescribe for the patient. Next one, please. If you compare to #1 product in the world by algorithm, most aspects we are similar or better, like the same as 14 days, but much smaller, much lighter, and we are using just 1 battery, but they are using 2 batteries. Our app can show the live ECG signal like this. And also, the one of a big difference between the iRhythm technology and ours are, in case of iRhythm, doctor cannot see ECG signal, but we provide our software AT report so that doctor can see the live ECG signal by themselves. Next, please. We have another study. We have a comparison test with #1 telemetry company, P company. And you can see from the pictures that our ECG signal has much clearer waveforms than P company. And also in sensitivity side, our signal shows that the most part P wave and the other signals QRS very clear. Consequently, we have only a small part of the noise, but whereas they have 17 point of noises. And during the wearing time, actually we didn't lose any signal, but they lost almost 10% of the signals. So it means that if there's something wrong on when they lost the signal, then actually they cannot find disease. Next, please. We have a very strong and professional partnership. Actually, for medical device manufacturer, it is very important to have a medical partnership with a top-tier hospital. We have a partnership with #1, #2, #3 hospitals in Korea, including Asan, Samsung, Seoul National University, Korea University, Aju University, and Catholic University. So we have this partnership, and some of them already started to prescribe our patch to the Korean market. Next, please. It's almost 15 minutes, but I will show you the 1 page of our product lineup. Next page. So in this year, not only this patch for diagnosis, but we will release real-time monitoring system to the Korean market first. Next year, we will release multi-vital sign monitor like this. First one is, so this monitor will check and show the ECG, breath, pulse, body temperature, as well as pull down. And also we will release continuous blood pressure gauge. I think it will be at the end of next year. And also we have a data project. So we will release 1 or 2 breaths per year coming years. Okay. I think it's almost done for 15 minutes. But if you, Candy, you can go to the last page just before the thank you. So we put our effort and the money and time to have a global marketing just before. Yeah, okay. So as of today, we spent 2 years to make the global marketing, and we've got 11 partnerships in 11 different countries. And also we have different discussions in many other regions. Especially, we are focusing on the UK market and US market this year. And at the end of this week, there will be the announcement from the NHS in UK that we attended NHS tender early this year, and we hope that we can get award from NHS this week. And also we have a partner in the USA right now. We are approaching the RPM companies so that we can be part of their system. Okay, that's all. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Candy.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Kim. So it's really a wonderful presentation. So let's discuss more about the ATSense are trying to commercialize their own product globally. And I think you already have a lot of questions, so please ask us using Q&A and I will introduce them later. Once again, thank you very much, Ryan. And I want to introduce the second speaker, Kevin Choi. He is a CEO of Medi Whale. He graduated post-tech, one of the famous tech college in Korea. He founded Medi Whale in 2016 and developing AI-based diagnostics solution now. The Medi Whale is one of the fastest rising company in Korea, and it must be also a great presentation as well. So please welcome Mr. Choi.
Hello, I'm Kevin Choi, CEO at Medi Whale. And I'm really appreciated to have this opportunity to introduce Medi Whale's novel biomarker, Retina intelligence. We believe Retina intelligence could change the game in the global war on metabolism and its complications. Next. Go next, please. Medi Whale changes the world as a leading digital healthcare company position in predicting CVRM, cardiovascular, renal, and metabolic diseases by identifying personalized risk and bridging healthcare gaps. Next. And today, I would like to introduce Medi Whale and Oculomix, the retina biomarker for CVRM, cardiovascular, renal, and metabolic disease, and Retina intelligence, Medi Whale's AI-empowered retina biomarker, and stage of consensus building for retina biomarker, and also the Retina intelligence. Next. Medi Whale is offering, next, Retina intelligence, retina-based AI biomarkers to predict metabolic-related diseases risk. And it opens the portal to the new standard of care. Retina intelligence works as three roles in the healthcare setting. First is personalized risk engine, offering the rationale for prescription of risk factor modification drugs, like the statin or antihypertensive drugs, like that. And the second is digital health check being a gateway for digital therapeutics. So this could be work as some gateway to prescribe the digital therapeutics or even the supplements. And the third one is digital biomarker, helping enrichment of clinical trials by pharmaceutical companies or digital therapeutics company. And this has the full characteristic. This is the one-stop solution because it needs only a single fundus photo. That is enough. And second one is the personalized solution because retina contains the personal vascular changes and the vascular defects and vascular problems are traces on the retina. And Retina intelligence is achieving the sustainable and preventative care because this work in the point of care setting, but it has the very powerful and precise accuracy to predict CVRM risk. Next. We have the 4 distinct products, Retina CVD. This is the personalized cardiovascular risk assessment for intervention. The second one is the Retina Eye. This diagnosis referable eye disease or not. And the third one is Retina CKD. This is the personalized kidney risk assessment for early intervention of chronic kidney disease patients. And the last one is Retina Age. This offers the personalized biological age and give the awareness for risk factors to subjects. Next. And Medi Whale is the only company obtained the commercially approvals of Retina intelligence in multiple countries. Retina CVD and Retina Eye have 7 certifications, including the CE mark in Europe, And RetiAge doesn't need approval because this is the wellness solution, means that non-medical device. Go next. Actually, Medi Whale is a really lean and small team, but there are really powerful Avengers work here. This is Kevin Me, and Tyler Wim is a retina specialist, and he's also the expertise in epidemiologist. And the third guy, Young, is our CTO, and he's expertise in medical AI. The first guy, James Lim, he graduated nanotechnology in material science, and he got the PH.D. scholar. And he's also the serial entrepreneur, and he's a full-time member of Medi Whale. And the last guy, Nina Shin, she's operation chief of Medi Whale, and she graduated Harvard Business School, and she operating a big team in a large company. Next. Let us move into Oculomix, the systemic approach for, go previous slide. Let us move into Oculomix, the systemic approach for CVRM using ocular in English, eye. Oculomix aims to understand the mechanism of metabolism and predict its risk. Go next, please. Retina has the potential as a biomarker to predict systemic problems. Actually, retina is the only organ to see the blood vessel directly without the invasive way. So yeah, there's many potential, and many doctors believe that this could be the powerful marker to predict the CVRM risk. And yeah, it is very simple steps to take retina imaging, less than 30 seconds, that's all. And lastly, the type of the retina camera is developed in more convenient type from the tabletop, handheld, and now VR type is developing. Next. And Prof Wang Tian is the pioneer in the Oculomix. To predict cardiovascular risk, he calculated the AV ratio, measuring artery and vein diameter. And yeah, in some clinical setting, it works very well. And this finding is published in the in the New English Journal of Medicine, the top journal in the medicine. Next. And Google is the first player bring the artificial intelligence in Oculomix. They train AI algorithm to predict cardiovascular related systemic risk factors, and it shows reasonable performance. This finding is published in the Nature Biomedical Engineering, but it doesn't mean that this AI algorithm could directly predict cardiovascular event risk. Next. And here, Retina intelligence is. Next. I'm quite proud of that Medi Whale is the leading company in Oculomix. But we could see further upon standing on the shoulder of the giants. There are many clinical evidence shows correlation between retina and systemic diseases, and this is described by many other players. And now Medi Whale's retina intelligence uncovers hidden disease, cardiovascular, renal, and metabolic disease risk via AI. Next. Even this concept was developed over hundreds years ago, and there were several clinical evidence. Last models had the limitation due to human involvement. Our AI-empowered marker, Retina intelligence, is fully automated system, clinical proven, and obtained medical device approval. Next. Here are our major publications in the top-tier medical journals, 2 publications in the Lancet Digital Health, and 1 publication is in the Age and Aging. The first one shows Retina intelligence could find a correlation, the relationship between eye and systemic problems. The second one shows Retina intelligence could predict cardiovascular event risk precisely. And the third one shows Retina intelligence could predict subject's lifespan. Next. This is a key finding of Retina CVD. Following recent American Heart Association guideline, CT measured coronary artery calcium score, CAC score, is the most precise marker to predict cardiovascular events. It gives 3-tier risk groups to identify personal cardiovascular risk. Retina CVD is also offering the 3-tier risk scoring system: low, moderate, high. And below is the Kaplan-Meier graphs. And yeah, our Retina CVD give the comparable accuracy with a cardiac CT scan to predict the 5 years cardiovascular event. This means that our Retina CVD is a very powerful solution because considering the CT is much easier to take a retinal photo and accuracy is the same. So we believe this is a very powerful solution as a cardiovascular risk engine in the primary care setting. And next. And this is the key finding of Retina Eye. Considering the low risk group by Retina age, they survived in 10 years follow-up even more. But when Retina age give the high risk, this group deceased before 10 years follow-up. In short, we could predict personal cardiovascular risk, personal lifespan, only through a simple eye scan. This is very powerful and very promising solution. We could predict personal CVR risk using only one eye photo. Next. And the last one is the stage of consensus building for retina biomarker and retina intelligence. Next. So these articles, these are our publications cited in the European Heart Journal, the top tier medical journal in the Cardiovascular Society. Next. This article presents some of the most important developments in the field of digital medicine that have appeared over the last 12 months and are related to cardiovascular medicine. The authors suggest that retina can be a diagnostic tool for cardiovascular disease. So retina photography was described as one section with subtitle. In this section, they cited 4 studies. Actually, 2 of them are our studies. Quite a lot of space was allocated to describe our research. In conclusion, this is clearly aware of the value of retina biomarker and retina intelligence, even in cardiology. Next. And I'm happy to reveal that we are keep publishing our important key findings in multi-cause study, multi-ethnicity study, so over the world. So we are using the UK Biobank, RS, Rotterdam study, and SPEED all over the world. We developed our original algorithm with our original AI training data set over 220K exams. And now we are validating this algorithm with using our powerful clinical network with this multiple cohort. Next. And I would like to say that this is not our own works. This is, I believe that this is the new wave all over the world. The left side, the LDA, is the IPO company in Hong Kong, listing on Hong Kong stock market. And yeah, they are also offering the retina-based health assessment solution to predict cardiovascular systemic problems. The right one is the Tesseract, the US company, and they did fundraise over 80 million last year. So yeah, these 2 players are quite strong, but we believe that yeah, we could compete with them with our strong clinical evidence and some lean but powerful members. So yeah, we are trying to keep some leading position in the Oculomix. And yeah, please cheer us. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Choi. Thank you very much for your also wonderful presentation. So actually, we do not discuss, discuss about how commercialize the great products in healthcare system. So now I want to talk about some real opinion from all of you. So we have two panelists here. The first, Jae-Yong Myung, she is currently health economics and data analyst in Medtronic, North Asia. And the second panelist is Cindy Pello. She has a PharmD and she's now working in APEC Med. She has joined APEC Med 2 years before. So please welcome to panelists first. And then I want to just briefly ask some questions first to Jae-Yong. So Jae-Yong, you have lots of experience in Korea and Japan. So would you briefly let us know how we can actually commercialize a traditional medical device or some new technology medical device in two countries or just in Korea, please?
Thank you, Dr. Shin. I would happy to answer your question. Generally, this is for Korea, so I'm just going to answer for the Korea system. But generally, for a new medical technology to enter the market in Korea, it has to go through 4 major steps. First, regulatory approval from the Ministry of Food and Drug Safety, formerly known as Korea FDA. A second step is new health technology assessment from the National Evidence-Based Healthcare Collaborating Agency, well known as NECA. The third is coverage determination from the HIRA, the Health Insurance Review and Assessment Service. Finally, the last step is the official enforcement from the Ministry of Health and Welfare. Actually, the key of this process is the NECA's new medical technology assessment. And to pass this step, sufficient evidence is needed. However, in many cases of new technologies, including digital health, actually, I saw a lot of evidence from the Kevin showed, but however, a lot of industry side have trouble with making sufficient evidence. The evidence, so the track that came out to solve this problem is the innovative health technology assessment track, which is called 혁신 의료기술 in Korean. So in this track, reimbursement coverage of digital technologies will be made within the range of limited payment with selective benefit scheme. The former reimbursement coverage will be made when patient benefit or the cost effectiveness is proven. The exact detail can be only known when HIRA publishes the guideline, which is expected to publish within this year. I believe HIRA making guideline means that the government has a deep interest in digital technology. However, that the continuous dialogue between the government and industry is needed to ensure the adequate compensation for the technology. So this is my answer. Do you have any additional one?
Oh, no, thank you very much. So actually, all of them are very important ones. So it may take more than just maybe 2 hours to understand all the system actually. So yeah, thank you very much. And I also want to ask about what kinds of support actually APEC Med have to commercialize AI-based medical device. Cindy, actually, could you answer this, please?
Yes, thank you for the question. So at APEC Med, we have a committee focusing specifically on digital health, right? And last year we conducted, for instance, different landscape analysis to better understand what is happening in our region. So everything is on our website, and the landscapes are available to our members. And we have 3 landscapes, which are a repository of all the regulations and policy related to digital health. So the first one will be focusing on funding and reimbursement of digital health. One is focusing on the regulation of digital health, and another one on the cybersecurity and more specifically artificial intelligence. So in these 3 documents, you can find information on artificial intelligence, machine learning. And I think it's really important to better understand how artificial intelligence-based medical devices are regulated and reimbursed in Asia Pacific. We also have identified and classified all the medical devices commercialized by our members, including the solution based on artificial intelligence. And this is really important to understand what is happening in our region and what are the trends that we can notice for artificial intelligence, for instance. And I think that the best support and advantage a trade association can provide is this unified voice. And if one of our members is facing an issue with the commercialization or the reimbursement of its artificial intelligence solution, there's a chance that other manufacturers face the same issue, right? So I think this ecosystem that we have created together and that involve many stakeholders can really help us to work together to solve this issue.
Yeah, thank you for your concrete information. We have 2 questions to Ryan. The first one is, how much is your product and how you can earn your own money? That is the first one. And the second one is some resistance from cardiologists, doctor, they do not want to change their own practice. So how you are dealing with this? So would you explain these 2 questions, Ryan, please?
Okay, so first one for price of our product is our export price as of today to overseas market is $85 US. And actually, I will add some more comment about the commercialization. Actually, this is kind of a new device. So sometimes if there is no reimbursement by national health system, then it is very difficult to penetrate the market. So currently, there are just 2-3 countries who already have reimbursement by national health system for this kind of a long-term monitoring system. And first one was USA, and second one was Japan, and third one was actually Korea. That's why we are focusing on those markets. And the price, actually, it really depending on that kind of reimbursement on each region. So our export price as of today is fixed one, but if there's a chance to penetrate the other market, then we need to change our price policy. And second question was how we can get doctors involved to use our patch. So, the doctors are mostly very conservative to use new technology. So we tried many different kind of clinical studies with doctors and hospitals, and there are some evidence and reference so that we can deliver those reports or the result clinical studies to doctors so that they can believe it is really useful. In short, I think that might be answer.
Yeah, thank you very much. That is always a key, point, how we can penetrate the other stakeholders, especially doctors or other healthcare professionals. Thank you very much. And I want to ask one question to Kevin. So I was it was really, really impressive about your technology, but sometimes it's very hard to explain your clinical benefits or financial benefits of your products. So how you are dealing with in those kind of tough situations. So that is a kind of a key point, how we can penetrate the traditional reimbursement system in healthcare. Would you explain that, please?
Sure. Thank you for your question. And yeah, actually the last challenge was the clinical evidence. This retinal-based AI biomarker to predict CVRM is a very new concept and quite strange for the doctors. And then, yeah, we're really hard to persuade doctors be in this study, not even the cell. But now we have the strong evidence, and then they're quite easy to access to the doctors. But now challenge is the reimbursement. So Korea, there is no cases listing in the reimbursement, and our technology is definitely this is a new technology, the new steps, the new medical procedure, and then we need the reimbursement. This is the critical to persuade the doctor to use our solution. So actually this is the road never taken, and now we are hustling to get the listing on the reimbursement. This is our now challenging.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to some your technology will be released soon. And so before I close the session, I actually want to ask some other aspects how we are proving the AI product or other SAEMD technology. So now it's getting more and more important about real world evidence. So I want to get some more information how real world evidence is related to commercialization of digitalized medical device. So if it is okay with you, Cindy, would you introduce some policies related to the real world evidence RWE in Asia? Do you have any idea, please?
Yeah, so I can take a little step back on this question, and thank you for asking it. So yes, we know that real world evidence generation is really accelerating, and so are the policies that regulate it currently. So at APAC Med, our committee have actually just published a new paper focusing on real world data and real world evidence. And for this paper, we looked at examples of regulatory models that incorporate real-world evidence for the approval of digital health technology, but also how real-world data can be incorporated into the value assessment decisions for reimbursement. So we shared some use cases of companies that successfully use real-world evidence to reimburse or to regulate their medical devices. And also we shared some of the policies available in our region, but also beyond the region as well, because this is not a big spoiler to everyone, but there's not a lot of policies available that regulate this at the moment. So we share some recommendation in this paper, and we are now at the what we call the activation phase of the paper. So meaning that we are starting to reaching out in the country to local stakeholders, regulators and policymakers, for instance. And one of our target countries, for instance, for this initiative is Korea, because many things are happening there, as our speakers mentioned as well. And so we are working closely at the moment with the KMDIA, so our sister associations in Korea. And the next step for us is to organize a closed-door roundtable with Korean key opinion leaders, with government stakeholders in Korea, share our recommendation and support them to implement frameworks that would be better suited for the new healthcare needs. So happy to send a link to this paper to our audience if they're interested and if they want to hear more on this initiatives. And of course, we really welcome new participants to join us in this project, and we will be happy to hear the attendees' suggestion as well if they want to join us in this journey. Thank you.
Thank you. We have, I think this will be the last question. So Dr. Hansu Kim asked about, so in medical device industry, is it also how we can prove the evidence-based, value-based, reimbursement system or some kind of evidence? So how about answering about Jae-Yong first about some kind of how we are dealing with innovative new tech HTA, not NHTA. I mean the 혁신의료기술평가. So there we are also measuring some potential value and some kind how we can improve quality of life in patients. Could you explain a little more about that?
the innovative health technology assessment, the new medical technology assessment actually do the systematic review, but the problem of the other technology was that if the evidence is not insufficient, the innovative health technology assessment track evaluates how it improves the patient's health status, or how cost effectiveness it is. Something like they describe all the things that the technology can provide. It's not like limited to like sort of things, but it is more open to it. So it is how to persuade the NECA. So it's not what I want to talk about is not really limited to it. So is that answers to it? Because
yeah, value is actually defined very subjectively. So in Korea, I think you already knew about that, but we are measuring quality of life, how we can improve their disease status subjectively, and how we can have some alternative medical treatment option using medical device as well as some medication. So we have some Hyoksin innovative technology assessment process, but the problem is we don't have much experience about that. So we are now developing and renewing all the policy over and over again. And if you give me an email, then I will introduce that how we are adopting that policy in medical device. Okay, so I think time is up. So, but yeah, this is the really the last question to Medi Whale. So, we in the US, I think we already have CPT codes, blah blah blah. So Medi Whale, if your software is already you can prove your clinical evidence, then it is not much harder anymore. I think this is not question rather than a comment. How do you think about this?
Wait, give me 1 minute. Yeah, so actually this CPT code is made by the digital diagnostics, lastly IDX-DR, and they targeted only DR, diabetic retinopathy, and this is the retinal diseases. So we don't know we could use this code for our cardiovascular risk solution or not. Actually, we are pre-submission stage for the pre-de novo stage for the US, and then quite unclear that we could use this code or not. So just proceed the FDA steps and use make it clear that we could use this code or not is our next step.
Yeah, thank you. So let's closing the session, and then before that, we will introduce all our contacts, and then here we are. And I want to finalize, and before that, APEC Madam will summarize all the session today. Would you take your control, please?
Yes, thanks, Dr. Shin. Candy from APAC Med here again. Before we do a quick closing, I want to bring everybody's attention to 3 upcoming events that we have. If you're an APAC Med member, you may already start hearing about these from our other webinars as well. So we are bringing to you 3 symposiums this May and June, starting off with 26th May. It will be a symposium on regulatory transformation, and this is co-hosted with the Global Harmonization Working Party. And the event will help everyone in accelerating your medtech innovations through regulatory agility and harmonization. We will also be covering capability building to create a robust medtech workforce. Then, not long after, we will be hosting the 9th June Digital Health Symposium called The Future of Patient Care. And here we are delving deep into remote care management, very related to what we have discussed in this webinar. So if anything has sparked your interest here, please do check out the link and sign up. This webinar will be bringing the voices of healthcare professionals, patients, caregivers, and the wider society together to discuss the advancements and future trajectory of remote care monitoring. We're also going to be looking at new ways to enable payment incentives for the benefit of patients and the wider society. And lastly, but definitely not least, we have the Value-Based Market Access Symposium. And this brings together key stakeholders from the government, from our medtech representatives to talk about how to improve outcomes and affordability of medical technologies for patients. So we'll be covering application of value-based assessments, best practices on value-based pricing, procurement, and reimbursement. Please do take a screenshot, scan the QR code, and we look forward to welcoming you there. All right, Dr. Shin, over to you for the final closing.
Yeah, thank you for your very good announcement. Thank you. And so once again, thank you for joining us today, and hope to meet another meeting via APEC Med. Thank you and have a great day today. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.